Chapter 6. Stay Schemin'. Dorothy? Damien yells in a commanding voice. Yes, Dames? Dorothy tripped over her feet to her cousin's beckoning call. I want a complete profiling on Bradley Terrence, Damien demanded. He was comfortably sitting behind a large black chair, which resembled a throne with gold-painted wooden handles and legs. Its mesh fabric was dark black with its elegant and sinister appearance. The room he was in was large, filled with bulletin boards that advertised every single school event that was planned for the year. The HD TV hung on the wall with a PlayStation 3 connected to it. There was a foosball and a pool table in the center. The suite also had its own cafe and kitchen. Damien said as she eyed him curiously while getting back up from her nasty fall. What do you mean, a complete profile? His Facebook profile or his Tumblr? No, Dorothy, I meant his IG profile, Damien sarcastically said as he rolled his eyes. Of course not those profiles, dummy. I'm talking about a complete real-life profile. I'm talking quantitative and qualitative methods to retrieve data. Any information from what you mentioned is part of what I want, but not exactly the most credible source. He got up from his chair and paced towards the window with his arms folded and right palm cupping his chin. His eyebrows narrowed and his eyes closed, displaying his large, exquisite, and dangerously mesmerizing eyelashes. I want a more intimate insight on our subject. Damien opened his eyes with a malicious grin. I want to know the ins and outs of our subject. I want to know what he does in his mundane everyday life, what he eats, where he lives, how he breathes, what he likes, interests, disinterests, what type of music does he jam to, what type of movies does he enjoy, if he plays video games or not, etc. I want to know what makes him tick, what gets on his nerves, what gets under his skin. I must know what Bradley Terrence's weakness is, so I could have him in the palm of my hands. In other words, play him like a puppet that I need for our clique. Our front line lacks an enforcer that possesses brute strength and sustenance. In your language, my simple and feeble-minded cousin, we need us one big mean dude to protect us from the haters. The callous and calculating Damien looked at his cousin as he drew a swift motion at her. He then put his hands in his pockets. That is such an awesome idea, cuz. Dorothy looked up at Damien as her eyes simmered with admiration. You the man. Like seriously, you are my idol, Damien. You completely rock my socks off. You can shut up now, Damien interrupted the unnecessary gushing as he pointed at his cousin. I require you to follow Bradley and gather as much information on him as possible. This is crucial for the recruiting process. Now, shoo, be gone. Yes, sir. Dorothy gave a playful salute and a wink as she immediately rushed out of the room. She then clumsily tumbled over the artificial plant that stood beside the door. Nincompoop, Damien muttered through his teeth while closing his eyes. Oops, she mumbled as she blushed furiously and started to gesticulate nervously. Ox in a box! Sorry, I guess yeah, later. Damien placed his hands behind his back after that facepalm moment. He looked after her with a raised eyebrow and a stifled smile. Anyways, Damien sighed as he slowly walked towards his throne with his hands still firmly behind his back. He then stared at it for a while. Soon, he muttered as he then petted the arm of the chair. Soon.